Good morning, everybody. We back for the weekly forex forecast for the week of the 4th to the 9th. So first thing we always do is we check forexfactory.com and see the news for the week. So for the news for the week, let's start with Sunday. Sunday, nothing too crazy. Just Fair Chair Power Speaks. Um and then Monday, you had big news at 10 a.m. ISM surge PMI. And then during Asia session, you have a bunch of news for the AUD pair, like the cash rates, RBA rate statements, and so on. Tuesday, you had big news, mainly going into towards the end of New York session that affects the New Zealand with the employment change and unemployment rate. Then Wednesday, there's a bunch of news, mostly low impact, some medium impact throughout the day, affecting different pairs. And then Thursday, you got high impact news during New York session, unemployment claims. And then Friday, you got big news for the CAD through New York session, employment change, unemployment rate. So there's decent news throughout this week, I would say, overall. And this is the week coming after NFP. So now let's look at charts to see what's going on. So for Bitcoin, for my Bitcoin traders, right now, this is a daily chart. So right now, as you can see, it's kind of been consolidating at this area. So many two things can happen. We could finally break to downside to test a low, or we could break up and try to test this previous high. So we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm in a sell opportunity around this area of rejection due to wicks. So now let's look at the next pair. Let's look at Pound New Zealand. So Pound New Zealand pretty much shot up during NFP this past Friday. So right now what I see, potentially we could test the previous high area. And if we do, we could potentially reject down and test the previous low. Or the market could, break up and use it as a support to go up to the upside. But right now, based off the higher time frames, if you go to the daily, I'm focusing on sell opportunities for the pound New Zealand. And there is big news this week affecting the New Zealand pair. So we'll see what happens. Because right now we're in an interesting area of rejection. So that's why I'm focusing on sales at this moment. As for pound the CAD, same thing, or at least NFP shot it down this past week. So I still focus on sell opportunities based off the higher time frame because we are in an interesting area of rejection in this zone area. So only two things can happen. You gotta react to market conditions. We could either break the low and retest and come down lower, or we could reject and come back up to kind of test the highs before we come back down. So those are my only two setups I see so far for this pair. And let's go to pound CHF. So pound CHF had been consolidating a lot last week, but I'm still focusing only on sell opportunities only because of the higher time frame on the daily. On the daily, lets me know, okay, we're literally on a downtrend. So if we do reject up, it's going to reject up, maybe test the highs before we come back down. If we don't test highs, we don't just going to go and test the lows and create a newer low. So just focus on sell opportunities at this moment. And then for those who trade pound USD shot down. This is for our chart. Pound USD shot down due to NFP. The news took it down. So if we go to the daily chart, same thing. We're in an interesting area. It's been consolidating, but it's kind of on the bearish side. So therefore, we should be looking for sell opportunities. Can literally money could suddenly could open up and money it could start to like come down to test the lows. But if we do reject up, we could reject up just to test the previous high, just to come back down. So regardless, I'm looking for sell opportunities right now for the pound. And those who trade pound JPY. So focusing on buy opportunities right now, as you can see, we are retracing to the upside. So we could literally, come down a little bit or test the highs or do a continuation to test the previous highs. And for ready to the pound CHF, so Euro AUD. Euro AUD, I see previous focusing on buys, so same thing, focusing on buys to test the previous high. If we come down, it's cool. We could retrace down, but still focus on testing the previous highs. And same thing for Euro, New Zealand, focusing on testing previous highs. We could literally reject down, but still plan on it testing previous highs. And now for gold. So gold been pretty much bearish due to the news on NFP, shot it down. We didn't really create a new low, so gold could do either two things. We could either come up and retest this previous area rejection and come back down, or we could literally come down, create a new low, and come back down some more to retest down this area. So that's my take on gold right now. And then let's look at the next pair. Let's look at silver. So silver is a little different. Silver, I am focusing on looking for potential buy opportunities around the zone area to see if we're gonna start to retrace back up. If we come down and break this previous area, then I know to look for more sells to the downside. Let's look at US dirty. For those who show US dirty. So US dirty, right now we're in an interesting area. This is on a 4 hour. We have a nice 4 hour candle pattern structure. So we can literally start to retrace down. Ideally, this is my setup to look for buy opportunities around the 76 port retracement to buy up to retest the highs. If we don't do that, then obviously the market will just probably play around and shoot up if we don't come back down to retest the previous lows before we shoot up. And now let's look at NAS 100, the last pair. So same thing with NAS 100, because based off the hour, you see this engulfing pattern. That's why it looks like it's coming down for retracement. So if it's coming down for retracement, I'll look for sell opportunity to see if we come down here. If we come down here, then definitely for buy opportunity to retest the high. But this is a bullish pair right now. So if we don't come down, we can literally come down and then break the previous high. You can create support and come up. That's an opportunity. But best case, if it comes down here, we already know what to do. We're gonna take it to the upside. So that's pretty much what I see so far this week. Just be mindful of the news events this week affecting the pairs, especially starting from what Monday, you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, affecting different currency pairs. Practice good risk management and trade what you see, know what you think. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And be safe and practice risk management throughout this week.